In the past, we've had some iconic championship battles within Formula 1. Lauda versus Hunt, Senna versus Prost, Schumacher versus Hill, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Yes, the greatest rivalry of all time. I won't say anything other than that. There was definitely no controversy, attempted murders, rule bending, any Twitter explosions, nothing like that. Enter 2025 and we have a fresh new championship battle between two teammates, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Lando Norris being in his 7th year in Formula 1 and Oscar Piastri only being in his 3rd season in Formula 1. And if we do some maths, 7 minus 4 is 3 years. So Lando Norris has 3 years more experience than Oscar Piastri. Mathematics.
You're fucking retarded.
There has been 14 races in 2025 and McLaren has won 11. 6 of them going to Oscar Piastri and 5 of them going to Lando Norris. And most recently in Hungary, where Lando and Oscar had a robust exchange in the last couple of laps and Lando managed to pull off a one-stop strategy and bring home the win. And most importantly, going into the summer break in 2025, the championship gap is only 9 points. We finally have a championship battle on our hands. It feels like decades since we've had a proper championship battle since 2021, as I mentioned earlier, which, again, definitely didn't have any drama in it or wasn't very entertaining or nothing serious happened. At the last race at Hungary, the McLarens lined up 2nd and 3rd after Charles Leclerc slapped it on pole position. And as per, Lando Norris bottles the start and drops all the way down to 5th, while Oscar Piastri maintains his 2nd place. However, Charles Leclerc's Ferrari turned into an actual wheelie bin, and because he was so pissed off, George Russell was catching him pretty much the whole race after he stopped for the 2nd time, and he literally tried to kill Osama.
Go 195, 96 miles an hour.
Now that was moving under braking.
Yeah, once, twice, but George Russell does get through.
Norris managed to get past Fernando Alonso and George Russell respectively, and we have a straight out fight between the two McLarens for the win. Let's go! Then comes lap 69.
Yeah, boy.
And Oscar Piastri fucks it down the inside, catches both front tyres and locks up and nearly takes both of the McLarens out of the race. Fun! However, nothing came of it. Oscar Piastri stayed behind Lando for the entire lap. He has another sniff down the inside, can't make the overtake happen, and Lando Norris wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, closing the championship gap to 9 points. Flashbacks to the British Grand Prix, where once again the McLarens lined up 2nd and 3rd, but this time it was Max Verstappen who took pole position. It's lap 8 of the British Grand Prix and Oscar Piastri finally overtakes Max Verstappen for the lead of the race. Then on to lap 11 where it starts to absolutely piss it down, and because of Max Verstappen's car, it had about 2 levels of downforce on it, so there was absolutely no way that Max Verstappen was going to hold on to 2nd place ahead of Lando Norris, and going through maggots and Beckett's and all that shite, he makes a mistake, goes wide, and Pando Porris overtakes Max Verstappen in front of his grandstand. It's a McLaren 1-2 on lap 11 and everybody in the top 3 pits. But then McLaren make an absolute tit out of Lando Norris's pit stop and he comes out behind Max Verstappen. A couple of laps later, the safety car comes back in and we're finally racing again. And then Isaac Hadjar decides, you know what, I'm going to fuck it into the barrier and bring the safety car back out. Well done, Isaac.
Like a pig! You French pig!
Lap 21 and the safety car comes back in and the field is bunched up. But then Piastri gets ready to go again and absolutely slams on the brake, meaning Max Verstappen overtakes Piastri under the safety car. Verstappen then complains on the radio to Giampiero Lambresi or whatever the hell his name is, complaining about Piastri slowing down too much. And then Max Verstappen does the most un-Verstappen thing ever and spins under the safety car.
Accelerate and brake, accelerate, brake.
Do it once, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, he's round!
Oh, Verstappen
round!
Spins and then
Handing 2nd place to Lando Norris, and it is once again a McLaren 1-2. Oscar Piastri then receives a 10-second penalty for a safety car infringement, and Lando Norris goes on to win the British Grand Prix. Piastri was a little bit sneaky throughout the race. He was trying to get the team to swap the cars again because the team obviously didn't like the 10-second penalty. They thought it was unfair, so he was like, oh, let's swap the positions if you don't think it's fair. But there was not a chance in hell that Norris was going to do that. So I do kind of respect Piastri for that, but there is absolutely no way that was ever going to happen. So nice try, Piastri, but Lando Norris wins the race. Going back even further to the first race of the season in Australia, which, by the way, was on at 4 o'clock in the morning. The absolute nerve. Putting a race on at 4 in the morning should be illegal. And I know the Australians like to say this every weekend, like, oh, we have to get up at this time every race because we live in Australia. Yeah, you live in Australia. The other side of the world. That's not our fault. That's your fault. Why don't you move to Belgium or Hungary or France or the UK? Don't move to the UK, actually, because we have too many people as it is. Let's not get political. It's a McLaren 1-2 in qualifying with Lando Norris on pole and Oscar Piastri in second. And unlike anything else Lando's ever done ever in his whole life ever, he didn't do anything stupid. He did have one little incident where he went off the track where Piastri did too, but he was actually very lucky that he kept it on the track. But other than that, it was a clean race. Lando controlled it and he actually ended up winning the race. However, Oscar Piastri wasn't so lucky. He went off the track the exact same time as Lando. He literally followed him. He did the exact same thing. But Piastri got a little bit shafted. I'm not going to lie. He went a bit further in to the grass when it was fucking pissing down with rain and went off the track and just slides off the track with Verstappen behind him. It was like poetry in motion, and he ended up finishing 9th. He was 10th, but then pulled an absolute slag of a move over Lewis Hamilton at the fast left-right, which was an absolute fucking boss of a move, I'm not going to lie.
Going all the way around the outside. What a move.
Wow. And yeah, Lando wins, Piastri in 9th, so that's a 23-point gap. Mathematics already in the first race, which seems unmountable. That is a real word. Now let's talk about the most controversial moment, which was at the Canadian Grand Prix, where finally the F1 gods gave us the best drama of the season and the two McLarens collided. The McLarens qualified 3rd and 7th after the femboy put it on pole position. Oscar was in 3rd and Lando Norris only qualified P7 after having an absolute stinker of a Q3. It's lap 67 and the McLarens are 4th and 5th, and Lando Norris absolutely fucks it down the inside at the hairpin, and they're going side by side down the main straight. Fun! They're side by side down the main straight, both with DRS. Lando once again tries to have a little sniff, but backs out going into the Wall of Champions. But then he has a run down the main straight, and it finally happens. Lando Norris channels his inner Ayrton Senna and rams Oscar Piastri up the arse.
Yeah, boy.
Now, we have had some other battles like Imola and Austria, and I want to talk about Austria because this moment right here, it's happened a lot where Oscar Piastri is behind Norris and he's charging last couple of laps of the race and he locks up both wheels. I'm telling you right now. Let me get real close. I'm telling you right now. This incident right here is going to happen one day. I'm telling you. It has happened way too much and way too many times. It's been way too close too many times for it not to happen. And I'm telling you, Oscar Piastri is going to be 10 points ahead at the championship going into Brazil. And he's going to be second place behind Lando Norris in the race. And he's going to lock both wheels accidentally and fuck Lando Norris into the barriers and then win the World Championship. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And I will be there for every fucking second. Now let's talk to the summer break, because it has been the Hungarian Grand Prix after I've recorded this. It's been done. We're heading into a 4 weeks of nothing. 4 weeks without F1. The inconsiderate bastards. What the fuck are us F1 fans going to do for 4 weeks? We have no lives. We don't go outside. We don't have any friends. We don't do anything ever apart from Formula 1. So we have 4 weeks, a whole month of nothing. What are we meant to do? Can I just say, these random 4-week breaks, I don't mind the summer break, because I feel like it is kind of needed at points. Because, you know, we've had a lot of drama this year. It's been a nice battle. But these random 3-week breaks, I know it's the summer break now, but in this season, there's been a random 3-week break. For what? For what? We don't need 3-week breaks. You know how momentum works? If we're midway through a season, we're 5 races in, and the championship is, I don't know, 10 points, and then we just have a 3-week break, that kills all the momentum. Now, the summer break is good in this instance because the gap's only 9 points, and the McLarens are literally, there's like a boxing fight. Piastri wins a round, Norris wins a round, Norris wins again, Piastri wins again, all that shit. We need momentum, and I swear to Christ, if we're going into the second half of the season and we have random 3-week breaks, I am going to kill myself. Right, let's wrap it up there.
Yeah, boy.